Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here in South Florida, standing next to Bec Rawlings, who makes her return to combat sports on Friday at bare knuckle. First of all, Bec, how are you feeling? It's been a while since we've seen you in competition. Are you excited to return and get back in rhythm and back in fighting?
Yeah, look, I'm really excited. I always say fighting's my therapy, and I'm in dire need of some fucking therapy right now. So, yeah, it's been a few years off, and it's just really good to be back here and amongst it all.
And last time we saw you was in mixed martial arts. Why the switch back to bare knuckle boxing? Is this something that you missed?
Yeah, I definitely had intentions. I've always had intentions of coming back to bare knuckle. Just at the point where I signed with Bellator, it was just my fit. It just fitted me right then and there with just other things that were going on. So yeah, I always intended on coming back, and it just so happened that my Bellator contract expired, and my manager was in talks with bare knuckle, so it kind of just like worked. It was just the right time.
What exactly drew you back to bare knuckles? What specifically were you missing?
To be honest, I actually wanted to start boxing. I really love boxing, and that was my idea. While I was stuck in Australia, I was going to have a few boxing fights, but then bare knuckle came calling, so it kind of just worked out. And I think boxing's great, like for my style, but I think bare knuckle, I have the edge in bare knuckle, just from my MMA background and my fighting style really works for me. So yeah, I love boxing, and I think it's just a cool element to have no gloves on.
The grappling, you're more of a striker, right?
Yeah, look, I like grappling. I like, if my first 5 fights I won via armbar and submission. So yeah, but I've always loved boxing. I've always been a striker. I've always been always intending on keeping it on the feet. So I definitely think that boxing I was made for boxing, and I think bare knuckle is just perfect for me and my style.
And you competed in the first ever event for BKFC and then the second one as well. Did you think that it was going to turn into what it has turned out to? Like when you started it, what did you think this was going to end up being like, if it was even going to stick around?
Honestly, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was the first big name that kind of took the chance with bare knuckle, I guess, and it paid off. Yeah, but it was the unknown, and that's what I kind of liked about it. I've always been one to take risks, so yeah, I just like to fight. And when they came to me with the proposition to fight for them, I was like, fuck yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? So and it's worked out well. Like the promotion has grown so much. Just being here now, 4 years later, just I guess even the relations behind the scenes is completely different compared to what it was when I was with them 4 years ago. So it's really cool to see the promotion grow and get more professional, I guess you could say. And they've just really dialed everything in. It's cool to see.
And does that mean your MMA career is over? I know Bare Knuckle FC has been very open in letting fighters do both, but does that mean you're focusing only now on bare knuckle boxing, or do you want to go back to MMA at some point?
I don't see myself going back to MMA. I definitely want to fight in boxing. If bare knuckle, they did tell me when I signed the contract, because I asked them if I could have some boxing fights in between. They said, "Girl, you're going to be so fucking busy, you won't be able to." So I'm hoping they book me back to back, so I don't have to have a boxing fight. But I would obviously in the future. I think it's a sport that I could go venture down to and just kind of cross both worlds together. It'd be cool also to do like a cross promotion. I think would be awesome.
Are you set on that 100%? This is it. MMA is now a thing of the past.
Yeah, definitely. Unless they come to me with a crazy contract, which I don't see happening. I was with this in MMA for nearly 10 years, and my career was very up and down. A lot more downs than ups, and I just don't think. I just don't think I can hang with the fucking girls anymore in MMA, and I think boxing is where I'm at, and I should just focus on what I'm good at.
For sure. And 33 years old, you're still very young. You're making your return here. What are some of the goals? Is it just have some big fights? Do you eye the championship title here in BKFC? What are your goals now that you are returning back?
Yeah, look, gold is always on my mind. I never lost the belt, so I still kind of say I am still the champion at heart. But yeah, I'm focused on Britain. Friday night, I'm focused on her, and then we'll see what happens. But definitely, I'm here in the sport to stay, and I'm not going to hang around and fight for peanuts, and I'm not going to not fight for belts. So yeah, if it comes, it comes. But I'm not going to pick and choose my fights either. I'm just happy to be here and happy to fight and make some money and punch someone in the face.
Has David Feldman or anybody in BKFC have told you about this potentially being a title eliminator? I mean, obviously you're a former champ, never officially lost the title. Britain Hart is currently the #1 contender. Do you feel like a win here could set you up for a title fight with Christine Ferreira?
We have not spoken about it. I'm not sure what their intentions are. Like I've been asking for the fight against Paige VanZant just because we've got, bad blood, I guess. I've got a bone to pick with her. She beat me in MMA with a really lucky kick, and I feel like I was beating that ass until she got me with that. So I definitely feel like that's a fight. That's a fight I want. I think it's a fight that makes sense, but it's obviously not a title eliminator. I think she needs to get a win under her belt before anyone talks about that. But look, I'll fight any of these girls. I don't care. I'm just here to fight. I don't care who it is.
Are you almost hoping that Paige VanZant does well and does get a win under her belt when she goes fights in London, just so it can set that matchup?
Absolutely. When she lost, I knew when she got matched against Britain, I had a feeling she was going to lose. I just didn't think it's a very green sport for Paige, and she's not exactly the strongest striker. And I know what Britain brings, and I knew Britain would beat her. And so I was a little bit bummed, obviously, that she lost and then she lost her second fight as well. So I'm like, come on, girl, get a win under your belt so we can fight. So that fight makes sense, but we'll see what happens. I think she might, whoever they match her against, I think if she's been focusing on her boxing and changing her game plan up a little bit, I think she has a good shot. But she's not a strong striker. She's not a great boxer, and I think that kind of showed.
And overall, what do you think has been missing from her in order to get a W? Because again, 2 fights in, 2 losses. Credit to her, she's sticking within, respecting the craft. But more or less, what have you made of her fights, and what do you think is missing for her?
I think you've seen it with a lot of the girls coming over from MMA. They are used to 5-minute rounds, and they're used to the fight going a certain way. You've got a lot of time to work in 5 minutes, and these fights are 2-minute rounds. They are sprints, and the volume's a lot different. So they kind of got stuck in their MMA speed, I guess, like your turn, my turn, I'll throw one shot. But if you're coming up against a boxer, they're throwing 4 punches to your 1 punch. You're going to lose. So I think they just need a little bit of adjustment to the boxing volume, and not so complacent, I guess, because you've only got 2 minutes to sprint. You don't have 5.
And let's say that the MMA chapter is closed. Obviously, you're leaving a little bit the door slightly open in case any big offer comes. But for the most part, it feels like you're done with it. But, looking back, what is your favorite memory in mixed martial arts? What do you take with you the most that you cherish?
Probably would have been my last fight in Dublin. It was amazing to fight in Ireland, and the crowd there was just insane, and the people there and the experience. It was mad. It was really cool to get like another win under my belt, and I went out there and had a really fucking good fight. And I remember my coach yelling out to me, he's like, all right, if we're going to street fight, we street fight, because we just got into it. And he was like, get it out of your system, Bec, get it out, because I just went wild for a little bit there. But it was a very surreal feeling. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite.
All right, lastly, Britain Hart, the rematch. If you can give a message to the fans, what can they expect from this bout and your return?
I think you're definitely going to see a new Bec out there. I've been using this time to get better and hone in my craft, and I think I've always been one of the best bare knuckle boxers. I come and I use the bare knuckle aspect of things. I'm not out there swinging wild. I'm using my guard. I'm breaking their hands, and then I'm breaking their faces. So you'll just see a little bit more of that.
Appreciate the time, Bec. Best of luck, and looking forward to your return.
Thank you.